So I was realizing that yesterday I told you guys that I joined a chat room, but I didn't tell you what kind of chat room, which might be leaving people wondering, like, what kind of chat room was it? It was a it was a chat room for a term called light workers, which is a really new term for me. I So much of this has been a bit new for me. Like I had never heard of the term light worker before. Before about 7, 8 months ago, and I was basically just listening and listening to the stories, and it was very exciting because I knew that these people had had similar experiences. Because I knew that I could not have been the only person who was having these I guess just sort of mystical experiences this summer. And I think that it had something to do. I cannot. I don't quite understand it all, but it had something to do with the eclipses, the celestial events that went on in July and August of 2018. It was a really big energetic shift. It was an energetic shift. And in fact, yesterday I was listening to one of Cryon's. I had talked about Cryon in previous videos, who is a non-celestial being, and he's channeled through, I think his name is Carol Lee. And he was talking about our galaxy, like our galaxy is like spinning, it's like moving all of the time. And he actually said something of the nature, I cannot say verbatim, but he said something of the nature that it takes 1,000,000 of seemingly our years to actually do a circle around our galaxy, which is crazy. And so it's sort of like everything is sort of spinning. Like we're moving and then we're moving around the sun, and then our solar system is moving and moving in a galaxy. It's just crazy fun. Anyway, and then us having different experiences while we're moving into these different energy fields, we're having these different experiences. And Cryon was saying something about the rays and consciousness, which is something that I feel like the people in this chat room would have understood, would because they know that their energy work is making a difference. They can see it is making a difference. And so I was really happy to have that experience of of meeting people that wouldn't think that I was entirely out of my mind. So last night I opted out of going dancing again. I don't know why. I just haven't really been feeling like going out even to see my favorite bands. But so I got into my neighbor's house, and we ended up talking until really late. We were talking about just all of this, and we were talking about my idea about these hawks. I was telling him about how I've been seeing these hawks more, and I was telling some story about the hawks, and he had suggested that perhaps I was just paying more attention, that I just wasn't seeing them before. And I've actually considered that. I have already considered that. But I'm really conscious, and I pay a lot of attention to these kinds of details. And it is my belief that I have energetically brought more hawks into my experience through intention, deliberate creation. I have deliberately been creating these experiences with these hawks. And you know, and sometimes I'm wanting to share, you know, so this morning I had made breakfast for my son, and which I'm going to tell you about in just a second because it was super interesting. But I was telling him about when this all started, when I was starting to purposefully create, like deliberately create things. One day I had said that I wanted to create something having to do with strawberries. It had to do with strawberries. And so, and I was sitting and I was eating on this plate that had strawberries on it, and I actually said something to my son even at the time. I said, so do you think that counts? And it was sort of like, not really. And then a little bit later in the day, I got a picture from my best friend in California, and she was making strawberry jam. And she sends me this picture of her pot with all of her strawberry jam melting in this great big pot. Anyway, so today I'm making breakfast, and you know, and I'm actually, as I'm doing it, I am consciously aware that I have created this. So my son had given me a waffle maker because I am like really into cooking, and I'm a food snob. I cannot use like waffle mix ever. And I use like pure maple syrup, and you know, and I don't even use made whipped cream. I go get the cream and I whip it up, and so anyway, my son wanted these waffles, and he had bought me this waffle maker for Christmas. So I end up pulling it out today. I figure, you know, gosh, it's been a month past Christmas and I still haven't made him any waffles. So I'm making these waffles, and everything is just going south. I mean, just so I make like these beautiful ingredients, but part of the issue was that the kitchen was kind of messy. And so there was like this trash sitting around. And then I get to thinking, I'm the only one who does anything around here. So I get to complaining in my head. And so then I have to go outside, you know, so I go outside because I have to throw the garbage away. And I'm wearing these like fluffy socks, so I can't wear my fluffy socks because it's been raining outside. So I have to take off my fluffy socks, and I'm walking in my bare feet, and it's really cold. And so I take this stuff out to the garbage. I'm humdrum, in a bad mood about it all. In the process, I have a waffle in the waffle maker cooking. So then I come back in and I look under the garbage can, and there's all this trash like under the garbage can. So I go to like scoop it up, and then this piece of glass like literally gets wedged in my finger. There's blood gushing everywhere. And I'm like shouting superlatives like I try my hardest not to swear in these, but I do have quite a bit of a bad potty mouth. It's bad. Anyway, so I'm shouting these superlatives, and and there's blood gushing everywhere. So I go, but I have to take the waffle out or it's gonna burn. So I go and I'm like, and I'm scooping the waffle out, and then I realize it can't come out because I need to use a cooking spray. So it's all stuck. So I got my bloody finger trying to unstick this waffle. All these things are happening at the same time. And ironically, I'm listening to an Abraham Hicks YouTube about this very thing. The idea of the contrast. The idea of the contrast, and how when we get in a pattern of thinking, we just get more and more and more and more and more of that pattern of thinking. But what is really cool now is that I can see it. I can see the path I'm going down. And so then I start to do my self-talk, and it's like, well, this is no big hairy deal. I'm okay. You know, I'll just buy some cooking spray, but in the meantime, I'll just put some oil on this thing. And so I was able to more quickly turn it around. Turn around the madness of the moment Anyway, and we enjoyed our breakfast a lot. We enjoyed it a lot. But another thing that I was talking to my friend about last night was this, these dips, like, and he had compared it to sort of being on this roller coaster, and I just don't know. I haven't been able to achieve it, and this steady stream, it's not like this. It is like this. And I was thinking about it today, this morning. I was thinking about Jesus and the Bible, and there were times where he got angry. There were times where he got sad. He had emotions. There were times where he felt abandoned. And so there were times where he didn't feel in alignment, or it seems didn't feel in alignment. And then I wanted to end with this. I thought it was so interesting. She said something today that really resonated with me. Esther Abraham Hicks, and Esther was talking about a vacuum cleaner. And she was talking about plugging the vacuum cleaner in to the source of the energy. And there was something about that imagery that really resounded with me, that we plug in to the energy of God, the energy of the creation, the creator, the source of everything. Anyway, love you guys. All right, bye.